Hello and welcome to All-in-One Theme. In this video I'm going to talk about getting your content through RSS feeds and how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here into the All-in-One Theme. I'm on the Content tab, and the first thing I'm going to go over is the RSS settings. And just to quickly go over this, and then we'll go through a little overview here. Now you should know, as a default, if you don't want to come in here and mess with any of this, you really don't have to. The only thing you want to do is make sure you have your email address added here at the end, but we'll just cover this real fast. So, and for most people, you shouldn't mess with any of this stuff on the settings tab, but you can just look here. I'll just cover this real fast. So there's a little bit of information about where content and images and things like that are pulled in via this RSS feeds, where they're saved on your site. So you can see here. You can adjust the size. It's going to resize images to a certain width, and here's the defaults. No need to change it unless you know how to work all this. Now you'll see it says maximum feed import items 10. Now really what this means is that if you have 50 different places you're pulling in content from around the web through RSS feeds, and we'll talk about that in a second, and if it pulls in all this content and it ends up with 50 different bits of content, well, that would be just way too many pieces of content, way too much for one single blog post. And so it says, well, what's the maximum number? Well, by default it's 10. So if it found content from 50 different sources, it would put them all in a bucket, mix it all up, and randomly select 10. Or I could make it 15 or 5 or whatever. Also, it says snippet character count. What this means is that some websites, when they post their RSS feeds, they'll put their entire blog post, 500 word post, in their RSS feed. Well, if that came through into your site, that one source would take up your entire blog post. Just too much. So what we've done is we've limited the number of characters that will pull it in. Now this keeps it uniform. So this makes your blog post look very succinct and uniform as someone scrolls through and looks at the content that you've included. We have it at 300 as default. You can adjust that if you want it to be larger or smaller. That's up to you. And then you want to make sure you enter in your email address here at the end, because this is where the system will send you an email letting you know, hey, we just created a blog post for you, go check it out. So I just want to give you a little quick overview on the settings tab. Really, by default, you don't need to do anything. So now you can come here and you can, once you've added campaigns and all that other type of stuff, you can come right here and say run all campaigns, and it will fire everything off, and it'll just force content into your site. That's something you can do. But what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about RSS campaigns, feeds, and settings. But let's talk about really what is this whole RSS feeds and content and all that. What does it really mean? And in essence, what we're doing is we're going out and we're looking at blogs and places that produce content on a regular basis on a particular topic. Maybe it's swimming pools, just to grab something. Maybe you're in the swimming pool business, or you have a blog that you talk and go over all things swimming pool, from chemicals and products, and maybe that's your monetization method is to sell pool supplies and so forth through Amazon or through affiliate ads or whatever it may be. But you have this site all about pools, and so what you do is you go out and you look at all these other places that have content all associated to pools. Well, what you could do is you could go out and look at all these blogs that are talking about, maybe there's a blog that talks about the best way to treat the chemicals and the balance of the water for salt pools and so forth, and you could go, sorry about that, you could go and collect their website information and say, oh wow, that's great, this is good information. Whenever they post new content, I would like to let my visitors know about it. And oh, here's another website that they are constantly posting pictures of pools and their features and so forth. And so you're like, oh, that's great. I would like to constantly let my visitors know when they're posting new content. Oh, look, here's another website that's continually posting content on, how to treat and care for your decking around your pool. And so you could go and get their information and constantly include that as well. And so all you do is you build this list of sites that are constantly producing content on a pretty regular basis, whether it's videos or whatever it may be, and then you collect their URLs, their RSS feed URL. And so make sure you look at the video where I go over RSS feeds. You collect their RSS feed URL, save it to the all-in-one theme for each individual site, and then the all-in-one theme will do the work for you. It will go out and just constantly be checking these sites, and when it finds that they have created new content, it will take that content and bring it back to your site. Now, it doesn't bring all of the content, it just brings a snippet of it, a little excerpt of the content. It's a very common practice, and it links back to them and everything, so it's all above board. So no need to worry about copyright and so forth. As a matter of fact, all your major websites, the Huffington Post and so forth, constantly do that, where they just talk about what other websites are talking about and they pull in snippets of their content. It's called curated content, in essence, is what it is. All-in-one theme automatically will do that for you. So what you can do is you can create a campaign. Right? You can come here, and now here I've created a test campaign. You can create a campaign and add all these different websites to it. So maybe you want to go get all the websites that are talking about pool deckings, and create a campaign called pool decking, and then have it post to a category called caring for your the pool of the deck of your pool. And you could have it run maybe once a week or once a month, whatever. And so then you could go and just find all these places that are talking about their pool decking, and constantly be putting videos and articles and how-to information all around that content, all around that topic. And the all-in-one theme will just constantly go out and check their RSS feed, and when it finds content, it'll bring, if you have, let's say, 10 different sources talking about pool decking, you could go and it would pull in all the content from all 10 sources. So let's say it found 10 articles. Each site had an article that it pulled, and so it would go and it would grab, or let's say 20. So you have 20 sites, and each one has content. So now it pulls back 20 different articles. What it'll do is it'll take all 20 of those articles, put them in a big bucket, mix it all up, and say, okay, randomly select 10 or 7 or 5 or whatever number that you said on the settings tab. Do you remember that on the settings tab right here where we said maximum feed? So whatever you said, it'll just reach into the 20 and pick out 10, and then it'll randomize the 10, and then it'll create you one blog post with those little excerpts of those 10 bits of content from those 10 different websites talking about their pool decking. Or maybe there's a video in there, it can mix all that in there as well. So it's a great way to add high quality, search engine friendly content to your website that your visitors will actually enjoy, because they could come to your website and they would quickly see a list of 10 different topics associated to pool decking. Maybe it's in that pool decking category. And obviously you could put ads in there talking about the latest different types of chemicals to go buy. Maybe it's just linking over to Amazon or something like that. So in essence, that's what it is, but you have to have this campaign running, and you can set it towards a category like that. Now, you have to make sure, though, when you set up a campaign, that you add feeds to it, right? And so you would go through here, and you would just come add feeds, and then assign them to the campaigns. And this one's a test campaign, but it would be pool decking, and then maybe you do another one on pool patio, or maybe it's the patio furniture associated with a pool. So you would have all of those going into that particular category, and then you can quickly see how you can easily go and start running ads for patio furniture, and people will click over, and guess what? Some buy, and you make a commission. So from a very high level, this whole RSS content section is really about going out and getting content from around the web that's relevant to your site, to your niche, to your visitors, sorting it for them, and then putting it in a format that's easy to read and follow, where your visitors will want to keep coming back and visiting again and again. And the great thing about it is the all-in-one theme does all the hard work for you. All you have to do is locate those sites and go make sure you check out a video on RSS feeds where we show you how to go find a website that has content on your particular niche. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's a good general overview video of the basis of the RSS content section, how it works, and how easily you can be up and running and just pushing good high quality content to your site. One last thing I do want to cover: when you do add a campaign to your site, see how it has this color to it? It's not running yet. It's at a paused status. So once you add it, it won't run. You can keep pushing feeds to it, keep pushing feeds to it. It won't run until you click on this activate link. Once you click on the activate link, then it's going to start doing all the work for you. So I just want to make sure I cover that real fast as I was talking there. I was thinking about that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out all the videos on RSS campaigns. Spent a lot of time trying to walk you through each step, and I think you'll see how easy it really is for you to be up and running and with a high quality SEO friendly content just flowing into your site. Thanks a lot.